We are back here on Healthy Living. We're privileged today to interview Joel Taylor, and I'm so excited. CEO here of Coastal Carolina Hospital and Hilton Head Regional Medical Center is a wonderful place to be, isn't it?
It is. It's fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate you coming here today and chatting with us. Every month we're going to try to chat with you.
Well, I understand.
Yeah,
that's great.
I feel
Thank
really,
you.
well, I think it's great. I think it's wonderful for people to get to know you as a person as well as an officer of this company. So I think it's really impressive. Talk to us a little bit about your background. We'll get started there, and then we'll kind of move into this year and next year.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again for having me. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to represent Coastal Carolina Hospital and more broadly Hilton Head Regional Healthcare. I've been here now 3 years.
Is it 3 years?
Yes, I started in September, days before Hurricane Matthew.
Okay. Oh, great.
And for so long, when I was doing public presentations, I would talk about that. Was really the indoctrination for me, for my family, into the Lowcountry and into really Coastal Carolina Hospital. And
where are you from?
I'm originally from just south of Nashville.
Okay.
So I grew up in Nashville and then went to undergrad at a small liberal arts school, Birmingham Southern College in Alabama. Met my wife there, my now wife, and then graduate school at UAB. Okay. And then have been in healthcare now almost 20 years.
Is it something you always wanted to do?
Oh, great question. You know, for me, it was one that, as I learned more about it, because I've gone and talked to high schools, I've gone and talked to colleges. I don't know that people grow up thinking, I want to be a hospital administrator. Right. But as I learned more about it, I learned that the mission of a hospital, obviously everyone can understand and appreciate that we're here to help people, get better, to serve them.
Exactly, and I think medicine's always is at a crossroads right now. I mean, I remember in the 50s, my dad was a doctor, kind of the house of God, and now it's we're trying to kind of figure out what we're doing.
How do we do this?
It's really interesting.
It is, and that piece, that kind of the social science of people and the interactions of physicians and nurses that surrounds just an overall compelling mission is what drew me
exactly.
to the
One of the
business.
things that's been a consistent message that we've gotten since we've been here is the culture of the hospital. And now these are unsolicited folks. We're talking to staff, we're talking to the physicians. It seems to be so quality-driven, patient-centric, and everyone seems really happy. I think that's a testimonial to what you're doing. Talk to me a little bit about this past year and some of the services you're proud of, and then where you're going to be going in the future.
Sure, thank you. I think what I'm most proud of is what you led with, which was the culture of this organization and Hilton Head Regional Healthcare. When I say this organization, it is very patient-focused, physician-engaged, colleague-empowered. That's what our vision is.
Oh, I love that.
And really, we are of the mindset, Jeremy and myself, we're of the mindset that we always have an open door as leaders, but that we are the chief culture officers, that we make sure that people want to work here, both physicians and colleagues alike, that patients feel comfortable coming here, that we treat visitors with high regard and high respect as they are checking on their loved ones.
Sure.
And so over time, culture takes time to develop, but recently we got back some physician engagement scores that were fantastic because it is collectively it's a team sport, I think, which is very different than medicine was 20, 30, 40 years ago. It is, we have to rely on one another because the areas of expertise have become
so complex.
So complex.
Exactly.
Radiology has to have a great relationship with the surgeons, with the hospitalists who take care of our inpatients. Just building that culture is what I'm probably most proud of.
Can you talk to me about some of the services that you specialize in at Coastal Carolina?
Sure.
I think I kind of know because I've done. Well, it's funny because now that people talk to me about Coastal Carolina, it's like, did you know? Did you know? Did you know?
That's great. Well,
it is.
In 2019, we really continued to develop some of those key services that I think we have become more and more known for. It is women's and obstetrics, but more broadly, we rolled out a pelvic health institute in 2019, and it's really starting to take shape. That's built around those physicians, those surgeons, that are experts in that field. So we have partnered with our robotically trained obstetricians, gynecologists, partnered with a general surgeon who handles incontinence issues,
That's
partnered with
huge.
urologists who have done the same, and really formulated the Pelvic Health Institute. So that program, for lack of a better word, really is tying together our big service lines. As we go forward, it's really about continuing to make sure that we grow that program, grow our service lines in conjunction with the growing community.
Talk to me a little bit about, you're a stroke center too.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. So in 2019, and the last time we visited, we opened the Tidewatch Emergency Department. And so both of our emergency departments, and really all three of our emergency departments, when we include Hilton Head Hospital, are stroke ready. We have a great partnership with MUSC through the Telestroke network.
Yes.
And I think in 2020, what the community can expect to see is our continued development on that and a focus on neurology. So we know that in this area that is both growing and aging, there's a significant portion of our population.
Yes, we are.
That is potential patients and potential victims of stroke, and it's a leading cause of death and disability in our nation. So we want to be ready and stroke ready. So we're going to partner with neurologists, bring in
That's
a couple
huge.
of neurologists. A new outpatient neurologist started late last year with Dr. Williamson. So we are looking at how do we serve those needs of the community? Continued partnership with MUSC, but what can we do here more locally?
Do you look at different demographics you've got an aging population? Again, OBGYN is huge
Right,
here.
absolutely.
I mean, it's kind of an interesting disparity, if you will.
It
Different
is.
ends of the population.
It is. Kind of across our market, what we talk about is, the average age on Hilton Head is significantly greater than the average age in Bluffton, and then you go to Oakity, and it's greater than either of those, and then Jasper County obviously is probably somewhere in the middle. And so trying to serve the entire kind of stretch of 278 and then North Jasper County, we want to make sure that we are investing in developing programs that patients can trust, that there's a critical mass to support long term. And so neurology, the Tidewatch Emergency Department, we knew.
That's
ER
an amazing
services.
facility.
Right.
You and I got to go in there. I
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
walk through it. It was fantastic.
Well, we're very pleased. Early results are very strong. If you look at the patients that are trusting us to take care of them and seeking us out at the Tidewatch Emergency Department. One thing I'm very proud of is when we were out in the community, I was often talking about the goal is to take care of patients. We are ready 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the goal is to get patients treated timely.
In a timely fashion,
In a timely
yes.
fashion. And so right now, average length of stay at Tidewatch Emergency Department is 1 hour,
Woo!
31 minutes.
Really?
So people can really come and be treated by a board-certified physician at any time of day or night and expect to go home in about an hour and a half.
Can I ask you about two things? I just am thinking here out loud. It's one's about screenings that you do.
Sure.
And the second one is about all the outreach that you do, because you are pretty, you have tentacles all over. I hear lots of speaking, and again, we talked to Jeremy, your website's really good.
Well, thank you.
So there you go.
Megan and her team have been working on that for the last several months. On the outreach piece, we know that we are community hospitals. And we can't be everything to everybody, but what we want to do is provide the community the resources they need and the care they need to make sure that they can make the best healthcare decisions
One
possible.
of the things you're really good about, I think, all of you are demystifying things. I think when you go to Sun City, or I've been to 3 or 4 different events where you all have spoken about specific services that you offer. It's amazing. A little bit of knowledge is really a powerful thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, that seems.
We have a great partnership with Sun City, working now more closely with Margaritaville.
Oh, that's
and-
fun.
Yes,
Okay,
and in those screenings, in those wellness talks where we talk about just physical fitness to cardiac
Yes.
screenings, we know that get the message out. People are starting to think more and more about their health, both from fitness, from just the need for primary care physicians. We know in the community people are very engaged. This is an active community that's very health conscious. We know as the leading healthcare provider, we have to be part of that discussion.
Brandon, my son, who's a physician here, and I talk all the time, our mantra, mind, muscle, mouth.
Yeah.
Right? You got to
Right
be
on.
healthy, you got to get your mind healthy, you got to eat right, and you got to exercise.
That's it.
No magic, is there?
There's really not. I think you said it, demystify it. It is more telling people what they've been hearing, but helping them understand and appreciate the results that come with that. And Dr. Runyon and the physicians we have here, what is amazing about this medical staff is we have physicians on our staff that trained in some of the top academic centers across the nation that could work there today,
That's
but
right.
choose to live in
the
this
low
area
country.
and work at a 109 or a 41 bed hospital where they get to connect with the community. And my job is kind of easy. It's take care of them, provide them the resources they need, take care of the staff, help them provide compassionate, high-quality care to our patients.
We appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to you sort of guiding these interviews as there are interesting things you want to share with
Absolutely.
us. And we look forward to talking with you. Thank you so much. We want to thank all of you for joining us here today on Healthy Living. Have a wonderful week.